And we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, these people can already hear you. Be quiet. I'm just kidding. Hey guys, Jordan Nielsen here, host of Real Estate Pros on Lister Pros TV. And today I have a very special guest here with Bobby Verenna of eXp Realty. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day joining me on Real Estate Pros.
Thanks, Jordan. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So for those watching that don't know who you are, I'll give you a couple minutes to introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Bobby Verenna. I grew up here in Tucson and went to South Point High School and University of Arizona, and then I made the mistake of leaving for 17 years. Was up in Denver and Phoenix and LA, and then I met a girl. And walking down the street in Denver, and it turns out she was from Tucson. And we have
back home.
We have two beautiful little girls, and we decided we wanted them to grow up here in Tucson, where we grew up. And so we came back about 3.5 years ago, and it's been a wonderful experience. I love being back.
So you've been back for 3.5 years now?
3.5 years. Yep.
Awesome. So, see, we recently took a family trip and we went through Colorado, and man, they got some beautiful like 4 seasons. You know, like. Yeah, the trees.
Trees are actually turning color up there right now. It's starting to snow. They actually have all 4 seasons. Yeah. So the great thing is I kept some stuff up there, so I have to go back every once in a while.
All right. So check in on things.
That's right.
But overall, you guys like Tucson, or I guess why did you decide to come back to Tucson?
You know, the story goes, the crazy small world story is my wife and I met in Denver walking down the street. We're both from Tucson. We both went to South Point High School, but we did not know each other. We met a little bit later. And we were down here for Christmas, and we went downtown for dinner, and we had a great time. And we had a beautiful dinner. We went and walked around to a couple of the bars and restaurants downtown. And when we were driving home or back to her parents' house, we looked at each other and said, oh my gosh, Tucson has changed since we lived here. And neither of us will admit saying that. And then the other person said, you know, I could live in Tucson. And that was in December for Christmas, and I was down here in February buying a house.
Really?
Yep. We just decided that we wanted our kids to be here and to be with family.
So been more of a cultural change here in Tucson, or how do you see it changing over? Because that's a long time, right?
It is. You know, Tucson has exploded economically, and with that, along with a lot of other good things. I mean, if you go downtown, when I was in college, which was a long time ago, you didn't go under the 4th Avenue underpass. There was nothing downtown, and now there's bars, there's restaurants, there's theaters, there's all kinds of good stuff. Second Saturdays happening in downtown Tucson, and that's growing throughout the whole city, the whole community. And I have a good friend that here in town that says Tucson is one big high school hallway. You can't walk down the street without bumping into somebody that you know, and that's one of the things that I love about Tucson. It's you know, close to or just over 1 million people, and it still has a small town mentality and a little bit of a small town vibe to it, and that part's been great, getting reintegrated and reinvigorated, really, getting back into the community.
Mm-hmm. So what interested you in getting into real estate?
Well, I've been in real estate for about 15 years. I started actually in Phoenix with a good friend of mine from high school, and then I realized after about a year I don't dig Phoenix. Nothing wrong with Phoenix. Nothing wrong with Phoenix. It just, you know, where I was in life at the time, that wasn't it.
Hey, cycling's much better here, I would.
That is a true statement. That is a true statement. Tucson's one of the best cycling cities in the country.
Yeah.
So real estate, what drew me to real estate was what draws a lot of people to real estate, right? It's the freedom, right? I get to be my own boss. I work on my terms, on my hours, on my schedule, and that's great with my little kids and being able to spend some time with them and take them to school every morning, and I'm going to swim practice this afternoon, and that, and I love being a part of for most people is the largest financial decision of their life. I love being a part of that. Mm-hmm. That excites me. Mm-hmm. Really excites me.
So we know that there are a ton of different avenues within real estate, right? You could do property management, traditional resale, new builds, whatever. What part of real estate do you focus on?
You know what I've fallen into has been the investment side, and it wasn't something I focused on originally. And I still put people in my car. We go out and help them find homes, and I have a beautiful home listed now in Catalina Foothills. But the investment side is what gets me up in the morning, gets my juices flowing. I love the art of the deal. I love the numbers side of it. We have a lot of investment properties ourselves. I've worked with groups, investment groups. I've worked with fix and flip guys. I work with a lot of buy and hold clients. In Colorado, I taught real estate investing classes all around the city and county of Denver, and those were great. Those are fun. I get to interact. I get to teach, which I love to do. I've done in other positions, where I was former CEO of a real estate company here in Tucson, where I got to bring new agents in and seasoned agents and help them throughout their career. And that's what I get out of the investing side is I get to help people build wealth,
Right.
and that's super exciting.
Yeah, and with a lot of options out there in Tucson when it comes to brokerages, you've chosen EXP.
I have. I recently moved to EXP about 6 months ago, and for a lot of different reasons. One, there was an agent there that him and I had been trying to get into business together for a while, and it just made sense for us to be in the same brokerage. And two is their model is something that I was very comfortable with as an ex-CEO of a very large brokerage. The EXP model was very, very similar, and in my opinion had some advantages for me personally. To work out of, and so far it's been great. The EXP, everyone at EXP, the management, the model, the technology, it's been a great decision.
So one of the biggest differences between EXP, I guess that they call themselves a cloud-based brokerage,
Correct.
right? So you've been at more of a traditional brokerage prior. What is the biggest difference on the agent side that you've experienced?
Well, we're cheating that system a little bit. I got to be honest with you. I work out of the Kolb Executive Group office, which is on Kolb in Sabino Canyon. And what we've done there is a group of like-minded agents have come together, and we've put a brick and mortar office in place for all of the EXP agents that love the EXP model and need to get out of their house or out of the Starbucks and sit in an office space. So we've really combined the best of both worlds. That being said, with the cloud-based brokerage, as a technology-based guy, I run my business essentially off my smartphone. And with EXP, I can be in a Starbucks, in a Barnes & Noble, in the mall, pulled over in my car, and access everything that I need to access off my iPad or my smartphone. Whether it's a broker question or I need documents for a transaction, it's all at my fingertips. No need to drive to any office to do any of that.
So sounds like a real estate brokerage built for 2018, the year in which we live.
It's actually a real estate brokerage built for 2025, and we just happen to be getting into it in 2018. Besides my avatar in EXP world, he is a handsome fella. He is a handsome fella.
So you're cheating the system because you have brick and mortar, and they say we have no brick and mortar. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So the brick and mortar that we have at the Kolb Executive Group has nothing to do with EXP. Two guys, Tyler Ford, Jeff Hannon, decided that they wanted the EXP model and they wanted a place to sit down. And so they created that space and they share it with the rest of the EXP world. Yep.
All right, so let's talk about something that you're passionate about, which is junior achievement. So let's talk about, I guess, what that is and how it impacts.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll back up just a second. When we were moving back to Tucson, one of the things that excited me about Tucson was the small town feel. And I made a deal with my wife. And I said, we can move back to Tucson and we can raise our kids in Tucson. And I'm going to get involved. I'm going to make a difference in the community. And so through that, that being one of my purposes, one of my goals, I've become involved with a few different organizations. I'm a member of the Tucson Conquistadors. I graduated the Greater Tucson Leadership Program. I'm on multiple boards. But the one that really gets me is Junior Achievement. Junior Achievement is a nonprofit group here. It's all across the country. I'm on the board for Southern Arizona. It teaches nearly 10,000 kids a year through their schools about financial literacy and entrepreneurship. All the things that schools don't teach. Schools don't teach how to balance a checkbook. Schools don't teach you what a credit score is. Schools don't teach you how to build a resume or how to go on a job interview. Those are all the life skills that Junior Achievement teaches. And we have volunteers, hundreds and hundreds of volunteers across Southern Arizona that are out in the classrooms. So it's not something that the parents have to drive the kids to get to pay extra. We are incorporated in the school system, so through TUSD, through Catalina Foothills, through Sunnyside, through almost every school district in Southern Arizona. We go into the classroom and we teach financial literacy and entrepreneurship. And it's I taught a kindergarten class last year because my kids are kindergarten age, and that's about my level of understanding.
You relate most.
I
to
relate.
them, right?
Yeah, I related great to them. I could get down on the floor with them and roll around. It was a blast, and it was awesome to see. I try to integrate that sort of learning into my kids on a daily basis because I didn't have it when I was a kid. I grew up in a trailer park eating government cheese and on welfare, and I didn't understand what a credit score meant, and I didn't understand how to use a credit card until later in life, and I learned the hard way. And I want to give not only my kids but all the kids of Southern Arizona a different chance.
Sure.
Right. So that's part of my mantra of moving back to Tucson and making a difference. Is I want to affect all these kids and give them a financial education so they get a little bit of a head start.
So is that something that like during their normal school day, you guys show up and you get a certain amount of time to kind of educate?
Yep, absolutely. It's obviously a partnership with the school school districts and then the different classrooms, and it's everything from, like I said, I taught a kindergarten class to at the high school level. It's like an 8-week program, and it's awesome. At that level, they are literally learning how to build a resume, go on job interviews. We hold an event out at Pima College called JA You're Hired, where we bring in business leaders from across Southern Arizona to sit and meet with a group of high school age kids, a couple of hundred high school age kids, and they come through for the day, and they're dressed in their suits and ties and their nice outfits. They have resumes in hand. We do mock interviews. We do mock networking, not mock. But real networking events, real interviews. A couple of kids every year through the JA You're Hired program actually get internships, paid internships. So it's like I say, it's from kindergarten all the way through high school, and it's all encompassing around financial literacy.
So is this something that you're looking to bring on more volunteers for, or if somebody watching this wants to be more involved, maybe they live in Southern Arizona? How do they
So
become
there's
involved?
opportunity on all levels. Everything from yes, absolutely volunteering at a school event, or all the way up to we are looking for dynamic board members, to sponsorship. So if you own a small company or are part of a large company and financial literacy is something that you're interested in, by all means, there's a place for you in Junior Achievement.
Awesome. So if somebody watching this is interested in you have a lot of different roles, right? So you do investments. So I guess I'll go back to real estate before we kind of wrap this up. On the real estate side of things, what does real estate look like for you in 2018? Because you've been in the business for several years now, and obviously that changes over time. You said you do a lot of on the investment side of things, but what?
I do. That's certainly been my specialty and where the niche that I've fallen into. But like I said, I help people on a daily basis buy and sell homes and build wealth through the power of real estate on the investment side. So anyone that that is interested in investing or just needs to buy or sell a regular home, I would love the opportunity to show them how I can work with them.
So what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Best way to get a hold of me, Bobby at bikeracingrealtor.com, or my phone number is 520-494-3278.
So before we close up, let's talk a little bit about biking, because I've been a cyclist for 12 years. I kind of took a break. I was doing Ironmans last
Right.
year, but my roots are cycling.
So my background before real estate was in the bicycle industry.
Really?
I grew up working at bike shops. I was a regional sales manager for a large bicycle company. I was the product designer for the largest bicycle company in the world for a number of years. So I designed tri-bikes, mountain bikes, road bikes, BMX bikes.
Really?
Yep. I still own a bike shop in Colorado.
And that's how you're connected.
And that's how.
But
I'm still
Colorado
connected.
has some of the best training because of the elevation.
Yep.
And
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful ride. Although right now, all the Colorado bike racers are coming to Tucson
Really?
this time of year.
Oh yeah,
It's a little chilly
that's
up there.
true. Yeah, Tour de do you do Tour de
I
Tucson?
do. I've semi-retired from bike racing,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm only doing the 75 mile this year. I'm going to help my buddy Jeff L. Try to win it, who's also a realtor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I still love the ride.
Yeah,
Still love
I've done
ride.
the 110 or whatever like 3 times, but we did the 60 mile. I don't know if they have that length now. That was about 5 years ago,
Right.
and that was it's a lot funner to me.
Right.
So you were like racing back and forth.
Pressure's not on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're not so fatigued at the end of the race.
Yeah, I've ridden the Big L Tour probably 15 times. I've been in the top 10 probably 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
And now I'm starting to play a little bit more
Yeah,
golf.
that's not easy. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on Real Estate Pros. Did you give out your phone? I don't think you gave out your phone number.
I did.
Oh,
Yep.
you did? Okay.
520-494-3278.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me on Real Estate Pros, and we will see you guys on the next episode.
Thanks, Jordan.